Alright, welcome to part 3 of the Lowbrow Nerds Portal 2 playthrough. This is Xicon, and I'll be playing Portal 2 with you today. Alright, so this is the beginning of the, well, this is kind of where the game actually begins. We start here in the incinerator, which is a nice, apropos location. You can see turrets and stuff are falling in here. This is where we kind of ended the game last time. We didn't actually come in here, but we did throw the parts of GLaDOS down here. Alright, now we've got the full-powered portal gun, we can actually get back to the testing that dominated the gameplay of the original. GLaDOS in this game is nowhere near the personality that we saw towards most of the original Portal. Here she's much more sadistic and seems to waste no time showing her enmity towards you and humans in general. This is probably not helped by the fact that we did kill her, but it's really strange to hear her suddenly go so sadistic. Here you get a real nice glimpse of the fully destroyed facility and these hanging arms and glass walls that used to be the part of the testing chamber are just in such disrepair, and they themselves have their own life, and it's a very almost unnerving prospect. The facility has certainly seen better days. Now, this is a very impressive bit of animation to watch these arms draw themselves in as GLaDOS moves them out of your way, allowing you to pass through the door. They're not quite as animated as some of the ones later in the game, but it still gives you an idea that, they look so sad as they just kind of haphazardly drag themselves away. Now, once again, I've tried to take out the loading screens for you, because, that's no fun. So this starts chapter 2 here. I think there are 8 or 9 chapters in the full game, but chapter 1 is considerably shorter than most. This is one of the first puzzles. It's very similar to the first puzzle, one of the first puzzles in the original Portal with the energy balls. Instead of the energy balls, though, in Portal 2 we get the lasers. I am actually somewhat disappointed in this design decision, because, don't get me wrong, I like the lasers. I think the lasers are a really cool mechanic, but the lasers and the energy balls require different methods of dealing with them, so it's not quite the same kind of thing. It's not an equivalent substitution. The energy balls have a much greater timing mechanic, whereas the lasers you can work with without having to worry about time sensitivity, and they're also much easier to avoid. You don't have to constantly look out and make sure you're not in the way or that you've misplaced the portal. With that said, though, the lasers are a very cool mechanic and do offer some very interesting puzzle mechanics. A very nice design on them, too. You can actually see kind of the incandescence of the laser burning there. And of course it also gives us these refractor cubes. And there you saw a little glimpse of Wheatley, who likes to check his way in throughout these early test chambers with GLaDOS. He has a very sinister look about him, though, which is something to note and that I will touch on a little later in the Let's Play, but it's definitely really cool to see him checking in and watching your progress, even though we can't interfere without GLaDOS knowing. Another little animation on the walls here. It sort of adds a bit more life to the Portal 2 facility, even though it's so destroyed, that you get all these drawings and activity on the walls, as opposed to the fairly static, I hesitate to say boring environments in the original. This is the poster child room for Portal 2. You see the lasers slowly come on, and then this platform rise up and all the different parts falling. It's a very, very beautifully animated and just absolutely stunning look here. And down here you get one of the first large Ratman dens. There's too many variables, and he's got a lot of bean cans. I don't know what's up with this. Beans. Sucker's Luck and Excellent. This is a very graphic drawing here. 219. Vilify, don't even try. And the radio here is actually playing one of the songs that were specifically composed for Portal 2. You can't hear it because I muted the game sound, but it's playing, make no mistake. This is one of the first puzzles, but actually it might be one of the only puzzles where you have to deal with two lasers, and deciding which one to route where based on the heights of the acceptors, locations of them, and then the cube is an interesting part, and again, something you don't get with the energy ball puzzles. Gotta goof up a bit here. God, I can't jump. That's pathetic. Alright, jump. There we go. Stop being such a scrub. GLaDOS is so much more talkative in this one too. Her lines of dialogue not only tend to be more frequent, but also longer even. In the original one, she did speak after and before every puzzle, but they tended to be much shorter and also much less personal. Another example of the wonderful robot arm animation. Valve was very enthusiastic about it, you can tell, and it certainly turned out wonderfully. This is another example of the very large chest chambers that Valve is not afraid of building in Portal 2. They seem far more confident in their test chamber designing, that they have no compunctions about designing these very, very large ones, even for early tests. Not quite as large as some of the other ones, but it's certainly larger than your typical puzzle in the original Portal. Look out for the laser. Jeez, Xicon. Don't suck so much next time. And again, the nuked cube design is something that I'm a very big fan of. It's a little thing, but it's just satisfying to see the colors on the cube change. It just feels like you've completed an objective. And more robot arms. This time, rather than repairing themselves, they push a bunch of junk out of the way. Now these are really, really fun. The aerial faith plates, again, they make use of the blurring kind of acceleration effect that I noted in an earlier video, but most satisfyingly, they have a musical cue along with them. That when you've completed a puzzle involving them, you get this, I don't even know how to describe it. It's very techno, fast-paced little sound bit, and it's very satisfying to hear it. They did an excellent job with that, and it's one of the things I look forward to on the aerial faith plate puzzles, as silly as it is. Just catching the cube in the middle of in midair was also a rather ingenious puzzle design there on Valve's part. The only problem I have with that last puzzle is you don't actually have to use portals in it.